Let's talk about KPIs, key performance indicators. What a lot of investors get comfortable with really quickly is the understanding that they have to be spending money on marketing to have consistent leads, right? It's been drilled in, you hear it everywhere. You've seen every coach, every mastermind, everybody who's done a large amount of deals, they'll tell you you have to keep a marketing machine running all the time. Great, you're ready to spend money. Don't spend it until you know how to measure this stuff the right way, because what's gonna happen is you're spending money, you get 3 months deep, you're not doing deals, and now you start acting emotionally, right? Now you're like, wow, I spent all this money, I don't have any deals, or I don't have good leads, and you built no process, you have no way to measure anything, right? So before you jump into that, you have to understand the metrics, what we're measuring, what we're looking for, okay? And you don't have to be a rocket scientist, you don't have to figure it all out, right? You have to start somewhere. You have to start with some kind of numbers that you can compare and then dig deeper from there, right? So really simply, for no matter what level you're on, the simplest one is how many outbound calls did I make today? How many people did I connect with? If you measure those two things every single day, and every day you challenge yourself to make both numbers better, automatically you will do more deals because you're having more conversations. And I'm putting everything aside on whatever marketing you're doing, wherever you're getting data, I don't care. Your actions double, you're gonna get more results, right? So first and foremost, start with that simple stuff. What are those actions? How many people are we actually contacting a day, whether it's buyers or sellers? From there, you can expand and say, okay, I need to talk to more people every day. How do I talk to more people? Or how do I talk to half the amount of people but have 4 times the level of conversation, right? So now you can start playing with that stuff, but you don't get to start having that conversation until you have the initial numbers, because now you get to say like, okay, what if I do this number differently? What happens with the result, right? So this is the little science experiment that's really going on in these KPIs is, cool, if I change this one thing, what happens to this number? And now you get into a weekly rhythm where you're just optimizing your marketing consistently, right? This is a machine you're trying to build that every week needs a little tweaking, right? Imagine this is a huge high power generator that's running for 40 years. There's gonna be little adjustments that you have to make along the way. There's gonna be something that changes, pressure changes or temperature changes, and all of a sudden that machine starts working differently. You have to adjust off of that, right? You get a new salesperson. Even if they're a rock star, you add one more salesperson to the team, that's gonna change things, right? Is it the same number of leads you have coming in now with double the salespeople? Well, do they have enough leads? Do you need to double the leads? All these little questions come up. The KPIs are what help you land on what you're supposed to be doing and adjusting without acting emotionally, freaking out like, I don't have any deals, now I have to rush to try and do something. So build the machine using the KPIs. And it's very, very simple because it's about how do I talk to more people? How do I have better conversations every day? A really good example here on the KPIs of how it can go wrong so that you understand really what you're trying to do with them. If the only thing you drive your salespeople by is number of outbound calls a day, I'm not saying it's not an important number, it's very important, but if that's the only number that you're driving them to, right, you run the risk that they try and rush the conversation to make more dials. This happens a lot with VAs, right? Foreign VAs take things very simply. So if you say, this is the number I want you to hit, they're not looking down the line at connects or good leads or whatever, they're just gonna make the dials a day because that's what you're driving them on. So the KPIs are not only crucial for you understanding the changes you have to make, it's understanding how you drive your team, how you drive each person. Each person may be different. You may have to push somebody on dials per day, and somebody else, you may not have to talk about that number because they're always gonna do more than what you expect. They're looking down the line at connection number, which is more important. So as you build that out, you just come down the line with your KPIs and, as you go down your pipeline, what's the next number I need performing? Connects, good leads, pass to higher up, contracts, different stages in your pipeline. But just start with the simple numbers, outbound calls, connections, talk to more people, have better conversations, and you're gonna do more deals. So that's 2 KPIs, right? You may be trying to measure 15 of them, 40 of them, I don't know, I've seen everything under the sun. Just 2 KPIs I talked about. Look how many different things I can play with and change and drive to try and push more leads out or push more deals out. You don't have to go crazy tracking 15 different things. You're looking for like really 3 to 5 key numbers that'll tell you the health of everything happening up and down your pipeline. And if you keep those numbers consistent, right? Deals is too tough to measure because there's a timeline in there. Even to contract, there's a timeline from first contact to contract, right? So if you're measuring the success of your marketing today or marketing that you dropped last week on deals, you're gonna say it's never working, right? You need 6 months probably to look at that number. But what are the numbers we can look at this week that tell us whether it's working or not? Okay, this number of outbounds went out, here's the response rate. Really simple. So those simple numbers will lead you automatically to run better marketing, because now you're spending your money with knowledge, with understanding of what's happening. And business owners, let's be serious here. If that's happening and you have that confidence, it completely changes your anxiety level, completely changes the emotion you have and what you do day to day, and allows you to look at your marketing the way you should as an investor. I put X amount of dollars in, what do I get out? That's what you're trying to get to in your marketing machine. And the KPIs are what's gonna help you get there.